Hello, and welcome to Life of a Boss, the podcast, hosted by entrepreneur, public speaker, and mentor, Jason Hardin. This podcast is all about helping audiences create and reach their own definition of success through positive thinking, perseverance, and personal development. Having survived extreme obstacles from an early age, such as cancer, poverty, abuse, family dysfunction, and even homelessness, Jason has learned how to master the art of resilience and defy all odds to become the boss he is today. So, get ready for some serious game and remember to keep an open mind. Now, without further delay, here is your host, Jason Hardin.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Life of a Boss, the podcast. And I am your host, Jason Hardin, and we have an incredible show today. In the studio, we have a very intelligent brother, entrepreneur, local business owner, and my personal friend, Jacob Grair. How you doing, Jacob?
I'm doing good, Jace. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me here. I know you've been asking me, but I really, man, I felt like I didn't have much to offer until you just told me something right now, and I appreciate you asking. The first time, and I'm glad and I'm happy I brought my son with me, too, so.
Yeah, we got Jacob Grair in the house.
What up?
Yeah, a man of few words, as you can see. But, I did invite this brother here over a year ago, maybe even over 2 years ago. So I'm really happy to have him here. And he's a very humble guy, which is why he thinks he doesn't have anything to offer. But we're going to prove him wrong today. And as always, this show is all about personal development. It's all about helping people create and live their own definition of success. And I invited you on the show because I definitely see you doing it. You know, not just as a boss, as an entrepreneur, but I see you doing what you love doing. I see you, you've created a business doing it. And not just that, you help a lot of other folks and you're very happy with what you do. And if you didn't know, that's why you're here. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I want to help people create and live their own definition of success. And that doesn't look like, just put it this way, there's no two definitions of success that look alike. True. You know, there's no two journeys. I've been in several rooms where everybody's a millionaire, and one thing I can say is that no two people made their fortune the same way.
Absolutely.
So that's why I like having different entrepreneurs, different people who do different stuff, because I'm gonna tell you, and I think the audience can agree that with everybody that's on the show, there's still a few traits that successful people have. You know, and I think there's still a recipe for success no matter what you want to be successful at.
True.
So that being said, man, tell the people what kind of business you're in and what do you do, for those that don't know.
I own a smoke shop up in Altadena on Lake Avenue. Mm-hmm. Been there 12 years. I remember actually, before I got into it, we were in the family business of liquor stores.
Okay.
And, you know, for me personally, it wasn't my gig. Mm-hmm. Liquor stores, it wasn't my vibe, so I didn't really like it, you know? Mm-hmm. Just gradually over time, being in that business, it kind of took a toll on me. Really? Mentally. Yeah. Really? Mentally more than anything else, because I just started dipping into alcohol myself. You know, and just, you know, started overdoing it, and eventually, you know, I ended up in rehab. You know? And so after I got out of rehab, I was like, there's no way I can go back there, you know, because it started to become more of an ideological type thing, you know, like you're in that business, you know, like just start thinking about, you know, this the
people you're impacting.
The dude that's coming in and he's buying whatever alcohol he's buying every single day. Yeah. You don't know what he's doing when he's going home, man. Is he like, you know, slapping his wife up? Beating up the kids and this and that.
Or is he in a deep depression and getting
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of just
you're starting to look at people and play the tape of them.
Pretty much, man.
Drinking. That's, you know, very empathetic.
Yeah.
You
and
know?
So, you know, I just, you know, my family asked me, they said, hey, you want to go back? And I said, nah. I said, I can't. I don't want to go there.
Wow.
So I'm, you know, he had already been born. Gio had already been born, so he had never seen me even pick up a drink.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he had never seen me pick up a drink or nothing like that.
That's awesome.
For me personally, I look at that as an accomplishment.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
And so, you know, I just kind of felt like, you know what, I got him, I got his mom. I need to start figuring out what I'm going to do. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I just started applying at different jobs.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had like a family business and still trying to escape the business. I'd rather work somewhere else than be a part of this. And like you said, there was nothing like technically wrong with it, nothing legally wrong with it, but like you said, you had an issue with it.
It wasn't my vibe. It wasn't my thing.
Did you appreciate the fact that the family did have a business?
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to respect the fact that where our families come from, and Syrian, background that we have. You look at your dad and look at the family and stuff, and they all came here from another country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they made it out here.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, you're kind of almost expected to.
Yeah, like you got a head start. Like, what are you gonna do with it?
Right.
Kind of. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for me, it wasn't like that. It was just kind of like, you know what, I'm not comfortable with this.
Yeah.
Just that was it.
But your family was supportive.
Oh, absolutely.
They seemed supportive.
Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
it wasn't like I'll disown you.
Nothing like that. It's not to that hardcore type of stuff that we hear.
Because some people, some families are like that.
Absolutely. So, no, it wasn't like that at all. And so I applied at different, jobs, and I mean, I applied at Kellogg's to try and be like a merchandiser, like the lowest tier.
Yeah.
I applied at Costco because of my, being able to work, on the counter type background and stuff. So, I had applied at those different places. And then one day, my uncle, he's himself has a story of himself getting in trouble, and that's his story to tell. He got into a little bit of trouble himself, and so he hit up my pops one day, and he said, "Hey," he goes, "what's Jake gonna do? Is he gonna go back to the store, or what's he gonna do?" So my pops just told him straight up. He's like, he doesn't want to go back.
Yeah.
And he was like, tell him to see if he wants to go check out this location that him and his daughter, my first cousin, had bought. And, he said if he wants, if he likes it, we can work out some kind of deal, and he can work and he can pay me back. On some business type. Some ownership. Like, he wanted to bring you in. Yeah. Like if he's interested in what I'm doing. Yeah. That's awesome, bro. That's an awesome family. Yeah, it is, man. Honest to God, man. And I think that's what families
supposed to do.
To be
I think that's what it's supposed to do. And just to tap on the cultural differences, I applaud that. I applaud that. Like, even and I think a lot of people don't tap into other people's stories, and I think like we look at the shopkeep and don't see what he did to get here. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we get jealous because like, okay, they got businesses and stuff, and we don't see the challenge. Like, even with the business, people go through stuff. You know what I'm saying? And even with a family business being one that I can't touch that business, you're still going through stuff. But I think it's like I said, just showing that it's a struggle with everybody. Like I said, nothing was handed to you, even though you did have an opportunity, and that you did take advantage of that opportunity until you couldn't take advantage of it no more. Yeah. So it's just awesome that it's a real story. You know what I'm saying? And that people can identify. There's a lot of people that can identify with you now. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, growing up in the neighborhood that I come from and looking at the like I said, the liquor store owner, it's a love and hate thing. We're glad they live in the neighborhood. We're glad they have a business here. But as you grow up, it's like, okay, they're just sucking the community dry, and poisoning the neighborhood at the same time.
And that's the thing about it is that, I'm born here, so I know. And I'm growing up, man, all my friends were all people of color, people of different backgrounds. Also, it wasn't just my cousins that I grew up with.
I can tell. You're cool. He gets his pass. He's cool. but yeah, for real. Yeah.
But I mean, like, so I know, and I heard those stories, and I understood those type of things. So I felt like, I don't just want to be the dude that just goes and just, hey, give me your money, and
hurry up and buy.
So that wasn't my style. So when I got into the smoke shop business, I mean, I was there, I was working. I mean, it's not like things just came.
It wasn't
quick,
just a well-oiled machine where money came and you just sat up there and collected.
I mean, I was there.
See how hard you work.
I was, 12 years ago? I was 36. That's about 12 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, this will be our 13th year, God willing.
That's awesome.
But,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And so, from the very beginning, I kind of had like a vision of like I want there to be like people like walking outside, and I want people to not look at us and be like, oh, here's another one.
Yeah.
So
you want to be a part of the community.
I want to be part of it. I wanted to be, you know,
so
like
just here.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And so like, I just said, you know, I kind of like trying to manifest it, you know, in my head and try to visualize it, and you know, eventually what ends up happening is. You had him on the show, and we were just talking about him earlier, Anthony.
Okay, yeah.
Yardbird Chicken.
Yardbird Chicken, Anthony Douglas,
Chicken,
man, my brother, man. Shout out to you.
You guys, if you haven't tried his chicken yet, I'll tell you right now, my son is in love with his food.
Yeah, them tenders is
it. It's amazing. You guys got to try it out. So, Anthony, Anthony's probably on his 5th entrepreneurial.
Oh, I know. I've seen his evolution.
Exactly.
It started with the candles and the lemonades and the sweets, and he's on and it's not going to stop at the chicken.
But he was the one. He was the one that hit me up first.
Really?
And he said, he goes, hey man, I got this, you know, these candles and stuff. He goes, would you mind if I post up? And I'm like, yeah, man, go ahead, dude. So he posted up and popped up, you know.
And he opened that was like the floodgate.
Yeah. And the next thing you know, there was people asking and
Said, that's all it takes.
Yeah. You know what? I was like, I go, you know what? Let's do it, man. Let's just, you know, people come. Look, we know how hard it is to get your license. We know how hard it is to find a location.
Absolutely.
We know how hard it is to gather enough money to, you know, just to get inventory.
To exist. As a business, period.
So people want to work. People want to make money. But sometimes it's just difficult because of
whatever conditions,
certain things.
Whatever those challenges are.
And so I figured, you know what? Let people pop up, man. You know, it's not harming me.
Exactly.
It's like, at least then, you know, people can go home and feel proud of themselves if they did something for the day.
Yeah.
They're not on the street. Doing something, you know, bum activities, whatever.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so I just said, you know what? Let's just go from here and see how it goes. And so then we got probably now about maybe 6 people.
Regularly too.
Regularly, you know, and there's people that call, and sometimes I got to be like, yo, you know what? I'm sorry, there's not enough.
Exactly.
Not enough days in the
space.
week.
And not enough space. Exactly. And you know what? Well, that's another reason why you're here, because that's how we met. You know, you wanted product, and not just that. You did create an opportunity for people to be out there, and for folks like me who started out, and especially with the with COVID and all that, there was nowhere to sell, you know. And then when that happened, and like there was no places that was really opening up for themselves, let alone for anyone else. So we really couldn't knock anybody that couldn't accommodate anybody in any way, because everybody was still struggling. And you were one of the first folks. First of all, I'm glad that you never closed. I'm glad that you were essential. You know what I'm saying?
Lucky, man. I got lucky, man.
And like I said, there was a lot of people with a lot of different challenges, and I got to see how a lot of business owners faced them and overcame them. You know, and I appreciate that you were one of them, because you being available, and that made your location available, and you had other people able to sell who weren't able to sell nowhere. Because like for me, my business was online, and it pretty much only existed online. And when COVID happened, it shut down every sale, you know, and everywhere that I could post up, there was no events, because I would make $1,000 a day at a city event.
Right.
There were no city events.
Nothing going on.
Nothing happening. And it's like more than a solid year. So you created an opportunity for people to just sell their product, you know, because like you said, a lot of people had products, a lot of people had stuff to sell and had a way to make something happen, but still with challenges, they couldn't push it. And also, there was a time, and it's not like this now, which is why I say it's an entrepreneurial gold rush, is that there was a long time where people were getting, I'm not going to say carded, but they were getting checked for permits and stuff like that, and sheriffs and police were really hard on independent entrepreneurs, you know, and now it's not like that.
No.
Now, there's restaurants set up in parking lots, no permit, no running water, no nothing. And then it's not a bad thing either.
No, it's not.
I like it, because what it does is it just opens the market up for people to get money.
True.
That's all. If you don't want to support, you don't have to.
Exactly.
If you don't want a dirty taco from a gas station, you don't have to eat it. But if you care about good food and you don't mind, and if you was out in Singapore or somewhere eating street food, you wouldn't care.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it here. It's street food, it's from the people, it's stuff they would feed themselves.
You know, it's not just that. It's, you have to think about, you know what, these people have families.
Yeah.
They're trying to make money.
They're not here panhandling.
No. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about it. For me, look, as long as you're trying.
Yeah.
As long as you're
You
out
respect
there
it.
and I mean, you know, it doesn't matter. I don't care. You could be selling boxes of, I don't know, if somebody has an interest in doo-doo. You sell doo-doo.
Yeah, for real. For real, bro.
You know what I mean?
You
It
know
sounds
what?
funny.
I remember.
Kind of disgusting, but you know what I mean?
Bro, it's a product. And I remember, like, years ago, I was watching on 2020, there was a guy who was bagging trash.
Yeah.
And he was bagging trash, and he puts it in the bag. He had a label, and he put his label on it, staple it, and now he was selling bags of trash.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, damn, that trash from that time period, it's collectible to somebody, and whoever has that product.
Yeah, you never know what's in it.
You never know how valuable it is. But
Exactly.
what I'm saying is somebody did something.
Exactly.
And I don't knock anybody trying to do something.
That's it. That's the bottom
And
line.
I appreciate you because you allow people to do something at your shop.
Yeah.
You create another avenue, and like you said, people, it's hard to get a building, it's hard to get a commercial lead,
you know, man,
hard to keep one
I'll tell
when you get one.
I'll tell you how hard it is just for us nowadays. I mean, even being in the business itself.
Yeah.
We got laws that are being passed.
Oh, every
we
year.
got everything. You know, it's like just more and more stuff coming out to try to just like phase out certain kind of businesses. And stuff, man.
And smoking's one of them, definitely.
You know, and I can understand it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
To me, I'll tell you this much though, man. I mean, like, from going from let's say, you know, selling alcohol to just selling something that people use to smoke that comes out of the earth.
Yeah.
For me, I feel less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
you
just
feel less
like-
guilty.
Yeah.
And,
You know what I mean?
and not that you should feel guilty,
No,
but
but
in the
that's
end,
just
like you
me.
said, you know who you are.
Yeah. That's just me. I don't. People do what they. I don't care. Like I always tell people, look, man, if you that's what you do, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
or if anybody ever mentions another shop or whatever, I'm like, I pull my ears and I say, you know what? Don't even talk to me about me. I don't want to know nothing about nobody else.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it. I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Just you do your thing. You do your thing. I'll do my thing, and that's it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I don't want to know about what anybody else is doing.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah,
You know? I mean, you know, they're doing it good. Cool. They're doing it not good. Cool. I mean, it's just
that's them.
That's them.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
whatever. But for me, I just feel like this business to me is more me. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just I
It seems like you.
Yeah, you know why? Because I like to talk to people.
Yeah,
and I like hearing other people and what's going on in their day and what's and I like to just kind of like when I talk to people, man, and you give that little the dap and you fist bump people and and they go on their day, man. They have a great day.
Yeah.
Rather than coming in and seeing a sour face and that starts out your day and boom, it goes from there. You got a shitty
You
day
connect
for the
with
rest of
folks.
the day.
You connect with folks. You know what? I'm gonna tell folks how I knew folks fuck with you. Okay, you have a smoke shop. Cigarettes, so we got a lot of folks buying cigarettes. There was one day I was supposed to meet him, and I was trying to catch him as soon as he opened up. So I parked across the street from your shop waiting for you. Okay, now mind you, not even like a half a block at the corner, there's like two liquor stores. There's a shop, a market, and a liquor store. Both got cigarettes, and they're open already. He has a line in front of his business that's closed and doesn't open till like 10 o'clock of people waiting to buy cigarettes, and behind them is places that sell cigarettes, and that's how I know, like, okay, people fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? And then not just for his product, but for him. And I think that's what I want to touch on now. It's just not even just being an entrepreneur for the money, but the freedom and the lifestyle. Like, I end this show every time with saying success is a lifestyle, because that's what it is. To me, it's not a number, it's not a victory, it's not something at the end of the road, it's not what's in my bank account. It's how I live every single day. It's every decision I make. And I look at you and I see success, because like I said, you're happy, you open your shop, people love you, and you're doing what you love to do. Just like you said, you're connecting with people, you're selling a product that you embrace, that you definitely appreciate more than what you were doing. And that was like a business that was handed to you, you know? So I just want to talk about not necessarily the challenges, but the rewards of entrepreneurship in regards of that fulfillment. You know, because I don't know how much you make. I know that you make enough to come back to work tomorrow and you know, and keep doing what you're doing and drive a nice car and help other folks out and have great products. But there's something other than money that keeps you an entrepreneur. Like I said, you're not at Costco right now. You're not at those other places that you apply at. You're doing your thing your way. So touch on that. Like,
you know, I think that's the part that you learn from your family about, like, just owning your own business is that, you know, you want to own your own business, not just so you can get up at any time and be there.
Oh, yeah, no. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah. Like that. I've heard people say, oh, well, you can be here anytime you want. I'm like, nah, man. If I'm not here at a certain time, then that line you're talking about.
Man, they're going to go somewhere. At some point, they're going to stop waiting.
Of course. Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
if you didn't open, they're getting it somewhere. But yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's consistency.
Bro,
that's
for real.
That's the bottom line. You got to be consistent in whatever you do. I don't care what it is. Whether you think you want to start your own business or you are already in your own. If you're already in your own business, you know consistency is what it is.
Yeah.
If you want to start your own business and you want to continuously keep it going,
you
got to do it consistently.
That's what it is. Yeah,
you
you're
can't
right.
just, you know, for example, you know, like I would have people pop up and they'd come in and you know, try it out for like once, twice, whatever the case. And they kind of felt like maybe it wasn't going to happen.
Okay. And
I told her, I said, just be patient. You gotta be patient. You know, because if you're not patient, man, you know, Jace, if we all ran on patience, nobody would be successful.
Yeah.
Because
if it was a time thing,
exactly. You know,
you hit it on the head.
You cannot rush anything. You gotta just be patient with it.
For real.
Baby it. Treat it like it's like treat it like a child.
It's
your child,
yeah.
You know, when you have a child, you know, what do? You're patient with your child.
Exactly.
Same thing.
Like, he's not going to college tomorrow.
Exactly.
You got to raise that 18 years and put that time in, just like a business. And I appreciate you saying that because it has to be something you love to do. Yeah. You know, that's my advice. Like, whatever business you want to create, whatever you want to build your entrepreneurial skills around, let it be something you love.
Yes.
Like, you'd probably be and you probably were a very successful liquor store owner. You know what I'm saying?
I did talk to a lot of people in the business. I mean, I loved carrying on conversations with people, but it was just something that, you know, like I said, the vibe.
It wasn't you. No. And being successful in it was still not going to be success for you. Yeah. And I think that's what I want to push on folks is that you can't chase somebody else. You can't even achieve somebody else's definition of success.
Exactly.
Because if you get it, it's not yours and you're still unfulfilled.
Exactly.
And like I tell people about the Impala I bought. I bought an Impala, 64 Impala, 100 spokes. You know, just it was so cool. If you like that shit, I didn't even like it, and I bought it because I impressed my friends, and other people liked it, and I hated that damn car. Yeah. It was like a boat, and it drove like a boat, and it was a nice car, beautiful car.
And God forbid if it ever broke down, where are you going to get the parts from?
Oh, my God. Didn't even get to that part yet. Yeah. I sold it before I even got to that. But the whole point was...
You didn't buy it for you.
I didn't want it. Yeah, but I got it because it was somebody else's definition. It would make somebody else go ooh and ah.
Exactly.
Now I move on my oohs and ahs.
Exactly.
My life is full of my oohs and ahs. Like, I impress me. Yeah. When I tell a joke, it's to make me laugh, not you. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much how I go about life and entrepreneurship now. It's like you have to learn to satisfy you.
Exactly.
You know, and what might be cool to you might not be cool to somebody else. Like you said, you might have friends that just, like you said, don't like cigarettes, don't like the product you sell, and that can be okay.
And that doesn't bother
me. And that
me.
shouldn't, and that's what I want to say. Don't let it bother you.
Man, I mean, look, there's a bunch of things that, you know, like, that I don't like. I don't drink.
Honestly,
man, but I don't frown on anybody who does.
Exactly.
That's your thing. That's what you're gonna do. Hey, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You need a designated, give me a call. I'll give you a ride home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah.
that's your thing. You like doing that, you do that. I can't frown on anybody else because they don't like doing the things that I like to do.
Exactly, and you're not supposed to.
No.
And they're not. And I think, that's really the key to success, man. Doing you.
That's it.
And if you're consistent.
Yes.
On whatever it is you're talking about, I think that people get it twisted because they want to do them and they're not successful, but they don't have that consistency, and that's the secret ingredient.
Yes.
You can do whatever you want to do, and you can be successful at it if you're all in at what you're doing.
You can't tippy toe.
No, not around something that you say you're trying to do. Exactly. You can tiptoe around the shit I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But whatever you're off of.
You gotta go jump both feet in.
Yeah.
You know, like you gotta make sure that, hey, if I'm gonna do this, at least
I gotta see what it is.
If I don't succeed, at least I can say I put both feet in.
And that's it. Really. You gotta commit.
You gotta commit. Yeah. You gotta commit.
Any advice for someone particularly looking to open up a brick and mortar? Because now we're in a business where internet's taking off. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people taking advantage of that, rightfully so. You know, and a lot of people can have businesses that are sustainable through internet, but some folks need a brick and mortar. You know, so restaurants, smoke shops, stores, even us. We get to, like, seriously, we can benefit from having a store right now. You know, but there's challenges. What are some of the advice or some helpful hints that can help people that need a brick and mortar, and especially in today's environment?
You know, I talked to my cousin who is my partner, right?
Okay.
And she always says to me, she goes, if you really want to find out about a location or how that area is, I mean, for one, you can actually pay companies to find out and see what the demographics are in
Market
the area.
research,
Market research. You could do that.
Okay, I want to stop you right there.
Yeah.
That's valuable. See, already off top, if you're willing to pay to get some answers and to get some results, that's one of the bossest shits you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Back in the days, I tried to do everything myself. Whatever I couldn't get done, I wasn't trying to pay for it. I was trying to save money. But to make money, you do have to, like I said, that's a good way. Go ahead.
If you don't want to go that route, you know what I would do? If you're eyeing a location and you think, okay, I like that spot, sit in front of it. Check out the walking traffic. Check out and just look around and see, like, hey, you know,
just stake it out.
Stake it out.
Yeah.
Take a look and just see. Or if you're looking to buy a business from somebody else, take a look.
Yeah. Do your research.
Yeah. Find out why is that person selling it. What's the reason?
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's because sometimes starting a business doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to start a business and it's going to be something fresh, new, and you know, idea that you have. It might just be an existing business.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
you might want to buy his smoke shop or his cleaners to make it a cleaners.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just good old fashioned way.
Yeah, stake it out.
Stake it out.
Yeah. Sit in front of it.
I talked to my cousin and she says the same thing. Look, if you're serious about wanting to get into that business, sit, have some notes.
Yeah.
All right, 1 o'clock. Four people pass by, 5 people, whatever, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, put that time in. Yeah.
Put the time in and take your time doing it. You know?
Yeah.
And
is that what you did in Altadena?
Believe it or not, over here, it was a completely different story. It was
he's helping you to get your shot, but him.
Because I was just so messed up at that time, man. I was just thankful just to be up on my feet.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Really?
I just got out of rehab. I was a month.
So you was in that shop for 12 years?
I've been in that shop.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I had ventured off and, you know, tried to open up other shops.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things. Sometimes it's like oil and water.
Yeah. You got and you got to figure it out. Like you said, you were all in on this once you were all in. So you're trying to figure it out.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes, you know, a lot of people say partnerships, they don't work. A lot of people say, you know, I would never do anything with a partner and all that stuff. I would tell people this, that if you're going to do something and you're going to plan to have a partner, you got to sit down with your partner and you got to talk to them about everything.
Man, for
Everything
real.
from the
For
beginning,
real.
the
Yeah,
get-go,
top and bottom,
whether
scenarios.
whether you're going to be the one that's going to be working in it full time,
Yeah.
and you only, and you're going to be the decision maker on what goes on the inside.
Yeah.
And the other person's going to handle, the
Admin
the
or whatever.
admin, the checks and balances.
Yeah, or
all
just
that other
some
stuff.
finances, whatever that is.
Finances,
Yeah.
and you just gotta be open.
Yeah,
And,
you're right.
And don't do anything without both of you agreeing on it.
I believe that. Yeah.
Or disagreeing on it.
Yeah.
If both disagree on it, don't do it.
Yeah.
If one of you agree on something and the other one disagrees, lay out the reason why you think you should go with it.
Yeah.
But if we gotta weigh out the cons and pros. And don't ever take things personally.
Wow. Say that again.
Don't ever take things personally.
Even stuff that's meant to be taken personally. Some people will personally attack you, and even then, and he might not say it, but I'm gonna say it because that's control. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Self-control is the most powerful tool you have, and if you let anything get to you, anything can throw you off a game, and anything can control you.
That's the thing.
And I don't want to give anything that power.
And that's the thing. Especially when you're talking about a partner.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
You're both there to grow.
Yeah.
The end goal, you have to remember, the end goal is to both grow.
Yeah. And there might be some pains in there. There might be some things you don't want to hear. There might be some truths that you didn't want to be exposed to. But the cool thing is, in taking on a partner, you want, just like even if it's a spouse, you only want to do business and you only want to have those relationships with people that you do trust. If you don't value someone's opinion, why would you go into business with them?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So don't go into business saying this person's never going to hurt my feelings. Go into business with somebody that you know is going to tell you you're messing up when you're messing up. You know?
You got to have thick skin, man.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes, man. I can tell you millions of times I would get into arguments with my dad at the business. And we would go head to head. We'd go at it.
Yeah.
And we get home, and it was like nothing had ever happened at the business.
That's good.
See, you don't take it home with you.
Yeah.
Don't take those arguments or disagreements home with you and ride them all day.
Yeah. You mad at him over what he did at work, and that's an extra dynamic that's important for a family business, because a lot of us that are fortunate enough to have family businesses, we're usually blessed with the fact that family can work for us for not as much as strangers, and that's a very big thing in a family business. It's why a lot of businesses succeed. When you go into a restaurant, you see the daughter taking order and the other daughter sweeping up and all that. They're eating. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's working, but know that that's sustainable. And that's where a lot of it starts. And if you're going to have that type of business, you have to compartmentalize, Exactly. And I'm pretty sure that when your manager is your mom, it might be hard to take that, differently when you get home, but what you're saying is that you have to not take it personally. Because if you're in somebody's business, even if it's a family business, it has to be run like a business. So you can't be out there playing on family time, on family money, thinking that everybody's going to be okay with it. So,
because you know what it is also is that, when you have a family business and you do have employees, let's say.
Yeah.
So your employees are seeing what's going on, and then all of a sudden, well, if he gets away with it,
exactly. It's a lot of balance there. Like I said,
so that's the thing. You gotta be, how should I say? You have to put yourself above the fray. You know what I mean? You gotta put yourself above that just to prove and show, not just to yourself and not even to your family, but just show it to the people that work with you.
Yeah. But this is a business.
It's a business.
Yeah.
I'll be willing to get yelled at.
Exactly.
Whomever,
yeah.
Just let's make it work.
Yeah.
And another thing also, I tell a lot of people, man, I said, look, no matter what, even if you're an employee somewhere, always try to imagine yourself being the owner.
Man, for real.
Because you never know.
For real.
Maybe let's say you work somewhere one day and you say, I like this. This is probably something I'd like to do.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Yeah.
Get to know.
I always say, no matter where you're working, you're still interning. You're an intern for that business. And there is not a job I've had that I haven't taken a skill with me.
Exactly.
You know, I don't care if it was working for the city, doing some mundane stuff, doing detailing cars, whatever it is, there's a skill that I've kept forever.
Absolutely.
No matter how mundane or whatever the job was. And I think from an entrepreneur standpoint, and just like what you were tapping on, I want to kind of like put it in words, it's leadership. You know, whether you're at the bottom of the totem pole, the top, like you have to exemplify leadership. You have to, like I said, boss your job. I don't care if you shovel shit. Like you said, if you're selling poo, man, you got to do that with some pizzazz, some confidence, some style. Exactly. And believe it.
Exactly.
You have to believe it. And I think that is one of those secret ingredients too, is just that initiative. I'm going to take initiative. I'm going to be capable. Not that incapable, because I mean, personally, I don't like people around me that are incapable. That I can't mentality or just anything will make them not be able to.
Can't to me
Man, it's poisoning.
I don't like that.
Because I say people with a lot of can'ts in their vocabulary have a lot of don'ts in their life. You know, there's a lot of shit they just don't do because they can't, you know?
There's always ways to figure out stuff.
And that's capability, and that's like my wife and just like people that can just, they have an answer before they have a problem.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I appreciate. And I think to be a boss or an entrepreneur, anything like that, you have to have that initiative to create solutions and not just dwell on a problem and sit and stare at a problem.
And wait for it to get bigger.
Yeah,
if you spot a problem, fix it.
Or like you say, get help. Get help.
Or ask somebody who is in the same business, but they're not part of your business.
Ask
somebody who's
someone who knows.
Someone who knows.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I think a lot of people, and I remember I was like this. I was always afraid to go and ask questions. You know, because I didn't want anybody to think I was like.
Yeah. You don't want to ever let anybody know you don't know, especially when you are a leader sometimes. Exactly. And I get hit with that too. It's like, because it's a fine line. I always feel like you can't see me sweat. You can't see me panic. You can't see me discombobulated or all that. I always got to look and control even when I'm not.
Exactly.
But like you say, there's a fine line.
But, it's if you go to the people that know.
Yeah, exactly.
You go to a doctor to find out how I can fix my broken leg.
Exactly. Not because you're stupid about your body.
Like because maybe the doctor knows.
He went to school for it. Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe somebody who is been in your situation, but they're just slightly more experienced than you. You ask them, hey, I have a question for you. So and so. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, can you just give me some.
Do you have a mentor in the smoke shop business?
You know what? Believe it or not, I try to just read a lot about things that are going on in the business.
Okay.
You know, because what I've noticed in this business is that people think it's like just everybody has to run it the same way.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
Like I not that I have I usually have a mentor with my cousin.
Yeah.
I'll ask her about like really, really important things.
Like technical stuff and business. Yeah.
But also, when it comes down to like, let's say if I want to try something.
Yeah.
Me and her, we come to an agreement where she's like, look, if you want to try something, go ahead and try it.
Yeah.
If it works,
we'll double down on it. Yeah. Yeah.
If it doesn't work, okay, then try something different.
Yeah, we'll stop. Yeah.
I ask,
and that's great.
People,
Yeah.
But the same thing. I don't have really a mentor because my pops wasn't in that business.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, my pops never worked behind the counter.
Yeah.
So he never really.
He never had that experience.
Yes.
You couldn't tap into that part of his knowledge.
Part of his knowledge, I couldn't. Yeah. If it was more on the checks and balances part, if it was more about
logistics and all that. Yeah.
And everything like that, then I can go to him.
Yeah.
And my pops is that type of person where people do go to him.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
And so he would be somebody I would probably go to and ask about that type of situations where, let's say, the logistic type stuff.
Yeah.
Because that type of stuff I think is universal.
Exactly. It's entrepreneurship. It's and like you said, your dad's an entrepreneur no matter what. Yeah.
And so I think that part is universal. But like everyday, day-to-day type stuff, try things.
Yeah, you're figuring it out. Yeah. And that's the fun part of a business. Like you said, it doesn't have to be scripted, the whole thing, and it's not going to be.
No.
And even if it is, it's not going to be because things are going to happen. So if you can't maneuver, if you can't figure stuff out, if you can't, like you say, be capable, then it's not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
It's not, but it can be. That's the thing.
I always say that too. Like I say, try it.
Yeah, I mean,
you
look,
have to try it.
I talk to people that are that come to my shop, and I ask them. I go, hey, what do you do? Some guy will tell me I'm in construction.
Yeah.
I go, well, you ever thought about owning your own construction business?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I tried. It's not for me.
Yeah, and that's good. Like you said, man.
That's his
but you get in the feel, like you said. Yeah.
I mean, but that's some people don't want. Some people, not going to say aren't capable. Some people just don't want to.
It's not for everybody, and it's not for everybody. Not because they are or aren't capable. It's just that's not what everybody wants to do.
Exactly.
So, some people just don't want to tell anybody what to do. Some people don't want to supervise.
Exactly.
Some people just, like I said, it's still your definition of success, and there's nothing about entrepreneurship that gets you to success that not being an entrepreneur can get you. You know what I'm saying? You can be a successful anything. It's all about what do you want. If you hate your job, then no. You know what I'm saying? If you hate your job and you're making great money, then I can't even call you a success because you hate your job. You don't want to be there every day.
We've heard about many people who are successful financially and depressed.
Yeah. It
definitely isn't all about money either.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's just being able to go home, put your head on the pillow, and just have a good night rest.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about am I gonna have a job the next day?
Yeah. And then waking up excited the next day. Not just about having somewhere to go, but looking forward to getting there. And like I said, you can have a job and look forward to going.
Absolutely.
And that's success to me too.
Absolutely.
So, okay, that being said, you have your son Gio here.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship and handing that over or teaching that. Well, how does that transition from you to your son? Are you preparing him to be an entrepreneur, or are you just using your entrepreneurship to give him the great life that he has and let him figure out what he wants to do, or what is it?
Well, I'll tell you this right now, that if he was old enough,
yeah,
I would write the letter that say, Mom and Dad are allowing you to go to work.
Okay,
right
you would emancipate it?
I know.
Like, yeah.
Meaning, like, if Jason needed help here,
yeah,
I'll write a note that says that he has my permission.
Oh, I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
So he doesn't need a work permit.
Yes.
He got permission from Pops.
He's got permission
to learn whatever he needs to learn at any job that he wants.
Yeah, because you know how it is. There's laws here.
Yeah.
A certain age.
Yeah, labor laws. Yeah.
So I'll write that letter and say, hey.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that I know him.
Yeah.
And he plays baseball.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And so he when he plays ball, I always tell him, when you play ball, man, you got to play ball as if like,
that's your job.
That's you're out there and you are trying to catch the attention of the coach.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
You want to be the first one out there.
I love that. Yeah.
You run to the field first. I mean, and when you're working out, you want to make sure that you're outdoing yourself.
I love that. You know what? I want to touch on that because he is so right, man. It's like people can stop you from doing a lot of stuff, but can't nobody can stop you from out working or out hustling anybody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can say, hey, you're running too fast or you're trying too hard. You know what I'm saying? People can say anything that, like, you cannot get PT. Somebody can say, oh, you got to sit on the bench. But doing practice at any other time you get to shine, you can make a difference. And that's what I was telling my nephew, like, be an impact maker. When you're out there, show something, do something, let it be felt. Like, even like he played football, and I said, when you don't get the ball, you block. I don't care if the ball is coming your way, if the play's going your way or not, you hit somebody. Let somebody feel you every play, because I'm going to tell you, that makes a difference. That makes a difference. Any effort you put in helps whatever's going on the other side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? So that effort makes a difference. Yep. And yeah, I love that.
The thing is also, when it comes down to like the entrepreneur thing, I told him, I go, I don't want you to be the kid always buying. You need to be the kid
a producer.
Look at
that, man. You're so lucky, bro. You're so lucky.
I told him. So, we went, he likes baseball cards too.
Okay,
right?
Okay.
And he studies baseball cards.
Okay.
He studies like, prospects and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
and he has a Beckett. Do you have a Beckett?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
PSA is the.
That's the new Beckett.
It's the new Beckett.
Yeah.
It's,
I haven't dealt with it in so long, so I remember the Beckett's when I was in junior high. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we did is we started up an eBay account for him.
Awesome. Yeah.
And so I told him, I said, look, man,
his account.
go out there and post pictures.
Do what you do. Yeah.
Post pictures, try to sell them, figure out how much they sell for.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Made
Just
1,000 a week.
Yeah. And
Wow.
What was the most you made in like 3 weeks or how long? I don't know. You tell Jason.
Like 2,000.
Wow. So and you learned the skill.
Yeah.
You learn the skill. So now you can do it anytime you feel like it. So now it's just like whether or not it's what you want to do, it's an ability now.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you interested in entrepreneurship in any way?
I don't know as of right now. I just want to play baseball.
Okay.
I want to see where it
Okay,
takes
you're
me.
focused.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you do start a business, do you think it would be somewhere around baseball or the sport or anything?
If baseball doesn't work out, I want to be like maybe a agent, maybe.
Okay, yeah, so you still like the business. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say that to my nephew all the time because to actually make a life in any sport, there's a window.
Yeah.
Golf is usually a bigger window, but you got to be a lot better at golf. But meaning, like, golf is a big window because as soon as you're good, you can start playing. There's a junior PGA, a PGA, and a senior PGA.
Exactly.
NFL, MLB, all that, it's a window. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't make it during this window, which is a physical window, like you can't be 40 years old saying, you know what, I think I got it in me. Exactly. It's just not going to happen. So it's a real window. And I tell my nephew, that window is a small part of your life. Even if even if Major League calls you and you get that contract, you still have to think, what am I going to do with the other 45 years of my life? You know what I'm saying? I can play ball for 5, maybe 10 years, professionally. Maybe 12 if I'm great and I don't get hurt. But still, like, thinking outside of that is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Thinking of the agent, thinking of the commentary and being a commentator after. And, like, that's a good idea to even be thinking about that right now. Because I know a lot of kids your age are probably ain't even thinking about that.
Yeah.
Meaning if I don't start or if I'm not the star or if I don't get a college scholarship doing this, I don't know what. But to already have avenues within something you like, that's great. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's when it comes down to like school also, that's one thing that my wife actually just really pushes on him.
That's good. Yeah.
When it comes down to schooling, because look, if you're going to be a student athlete, there's two parts to that.
The student. And
athlete. So, I mean,
you can't even do one without the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to get good grades and you got to be able to play.
Yeah.
And so for him, because he's going to be trying out for high school soon.
Yeah.
In about 3 months. So
That's awesome. Yeah.
So I mean, I think we have the part, or he has the part. I think when it comes down to school.
Yeah.
That part, I think it's still coming naturally for him.
Okay.
And my wife and I still get on his butt about stuff. He's pretty good at that stuff.
That's good.
And so, he knows that, it's weird, man. I wish I would have been as pissed off as him when I didn't get a good grade.
That's awesome. Yeah.
When it comes
That's
down
good
to
disappointment.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know what?
Yeah.
It's good to be hard on yourself. It's not good to be so hard on yourself. It's the end of the world and all that. But if you feel like that for a second, that's good.
Yeah.
Because it's what makes you want to do better.
Exactly.
If you get a shitty grade and you don't care, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If you're on the team and you don't make no effort and you're not even breaking a sweat and you had to practice for 2 hours, that's a problem.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it starts with the mentality.
Yes.
And I'm so glad, like you said, that you have a father like this who's an entrepreneur, but also just letting you do you and discover you, because in the end, it's the mentality that you want. It's not like you have to do this right or that right. It's like you want to be a good person, a right person. So no matter what you do, it can be right. You know what I'm saying? And I like it. Like I said, it's the values that you have to get more so than anything, because the values you can apply to anything you want to do.
Exactly.
You might not want to play baseball tomorrow, but if you work hard, you push yourself, and you be impactful, you're going to be successful at whatever it is. So that's the part that I'm glad you're getting, because like I said, my dad was never an entrepreneur like that. So I had to learn all this on my own, and you you have a learning curve right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have an answer key right here for a lot of things in business and just being a successful young cat. So use it. Take advantage.
Yeah.
Like I wish if my dad was here today, I would ask him things like I'm stupid. You know, I would ask him like I didn't know. And I know as a youngster we tend to want to know everything. But the person who can admit that he doesn't know shit and is not afraid to ask, that's going to be the person that wins. You know what I'm saying? So take advantage of your dad, ask him everything, and appreciate that he's right here. Like I said, I'm going to ask him shit. He's not even my dad, and whatever I need to know, I'm going to still ask him. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate that, bro. And like I said, you're a great kid. You're gonna do some great things, and I know because I know who your dad is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope he does good too, man. Not just for me, just for him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As long as he's successful at whatever he does, I'm happy.
That's your success. Yeah.
I mean, just, you look at, for example, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, I mean, you would think that the dude was just the way he was,
Yeah.
When you go deeper, man, you find out that he went to Akeem Olajuwon to find out how to
Yeah.
He went to
He
him.
studied.
He
studied.
He went to them. Hey, Akeem,
Yeah.
teach me how you do your footwork.
Yeah.
And they practice that.
Yeah.
He would call Michael Jordan up.
Yeah.
5 o'clock in the morning and ask him questions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're talking about Kobe Bryant thinking like
he already had it.
Yeah.
No, you get it from somewhere.
Exactly.
And that's how you get it. That's how you get it. You become a student of the game.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't matter what you want to be successful in. You have to see yourself as the student. You know, so no matter what I'm trying to do, it might look like I'm awesome at some things, but that's only because I'm figuring it out as I go along and I'm asking the right questions and I'm moving in a way that kind of makes me find success. You know, I'm not moving in a way that can get me hurt, in a way that puts anything in jeopardy. I'm moving like, how can I learn it? How can I apply it? And I find my way, and that's always worked for me, you know. But like I said, if you have anybody on your team that has any experience, especially somebody closer in the family, tap into it. Yeah. Jay, final thoughts,
Yes, sir.
final words, man. What do you have out there for the people? The last words, last little bit of game for anybody trying to be successful, anybody trying to be an entrepreneur, anybody trying to win. What say you?
Just don't quit. I would say don't quit if you feel like, you know what, you're on your last leg, no matter what, man. And you know what? I know it's cliche, man, but if you believe in God, honestly, you know, and you put your hands on God, and you let him and allow him just to guide you, and there's no way you'll fail. I mean, failure is just a word. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
It doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you put something and attach something with the word failure, then, you know, that's even creating something.
Yeah, for real.
So, I mean, you're never failing at anything. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're always going to learn something from
exactly.
it, no matter what. You know, so I would just tell people, just consistency. Just be consistent. You know, and also be a person of your word.
For real.
You know, and I mean, because that's one thing that I was always taught is all you have after everything is your name.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what, man, it's like you could be sitting with a group of people, and if your name comes up, you get people that, oh yeah, I know that dude, you know, and then some people be like, yeah, you watch out for that dude.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Then you're like, you know, that's,
Yeah.
you know, that could be just something that person has against you, but no matter what, you know you.
Yeah.
Always make sure that you're a person of your word. If you're gonna do something, do it.
I like that. Yeah.
If you're gonna make a promise, and you come through with it. Don't just give quick okay, yeah.
Yeah, hollow responses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take your time, think about what you're gonna say. If you can't do something, say I can't.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
that's okay.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I would say. Just all you have in this world is your name, man. You stop and you think about it, you know, just keep your name clean.
I love it.
Man.
Keep your name clean. Final question. Where can the people get a hold of you, your products? How can they reach you?
Over here on at 2501 Lake Avenue, a small little green building right next to the Rancho Bar. Just come on by, come through, say what's up if you want. You know, take care of you. Just you don't even gotta buy nothing. Just come through, holler, and say what's up.
Check him out. Tell him you saw him on the podcast.
Yeah. And I continue to wish you a great deal of success,
man, thank you.
Well,
you're a part of it, man. I appreciate it.
I know you work your butt off, man.
Man,
So I know that.
Game recognized game, bro. And that's how I know you work so hard. And that's why you're here, bro. Because like I said, I see what you do. I see that you love what you do. I see that you're a happy father, a happy guy. You know what I'm saying? You do everything that you can to not just make a life for him, but make a life for yourself. Because I always say that's most important. Like, you can have family, you can have kids, you can have a wife, but you have to be happy with you. You can't be miserable and be any kind of service or any kind of good for the people around you. Because even if you're miserable and you do something for your kids, they're not going to look at the stuff you're giving them. They're going to look at the misery. And they're going to say, you know what? I don't want to be like Pops. You know, I don't care if I got everything. I don't want to be like that. And so people can pick up on that. So like I said, you got to be happy with you. You got to love what you do, and you got to love who you are first. And then everybody else can enjoy you.
Yes, absolutely. You got to love yourself, man. You ain't love yourself, you ain't got no love to give anybody else.
Seriously.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, thank you again, bro. My brother, man. Like I said, I've been trying to have him on here for over a year. I finally got him, so now I'm happy. My bucket list has another thing crossed off.
I appreciate
and just a good brother, man. Go up to the shop, Ace Smoke Shop, Altadena, California. They got some cool stuff, some cool products, and they support the neighborhood. There's a lot of folks that I know who depend on this brother for not a paycheck, because they're making their own money, but to get that money today. There's people that aren't going to make any money tomorrow unless they go to his shop and set up. And I appreciate him for creating that opportunity for a lot of folks who are still trying to figure it out. Because like I said, people like Brandon, and I'm not Brandon, Brandon's brother, Anthony, people like Anthony and other folks, they're going to be great folks. And they're already great folks, but he's a big part of their story. He's a big part of mine. Like I said, so the things that he allows people to do in front of his shop are very much needed for local entrepreneurs and artists and creators of all kinds. And if you're going to support him, you're supporting a lot of other folks too. So come out, support the people in front of his shop, support him, and just say hi. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he likes to talk to folks. Yeah. Believe me. So that being said, I love all of y'all. Thank you for watching today. Check us out, lifeofaboss.net. And remember that success is indeed a lifestyle. Peace.
Did anything stand out to you in today's show? If so, let us know. Your questions, comments, and concerns are important to Jason, as he is determined to always deliver to you only the most impactful information and content. Until next time, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and leave a review whenever possible. You may visit lifeofaboss.net for more episodes and great resources to help you become the absolute boss that you were meant to be. You can also follow Jason on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Hardin. Thank you. And to never forget that success is a lifestyle.